Guys, going.
Welcome back, man. It's been almost a year at this point since you've had a chance to fight. So, I mean, I guess, first of all, how good does it feel to be fighting again? And did you think it would be this long of a stretch?
I definitely didn't think it was gonna be this long, but it does feel good to be back, and this feels good too. Just like having a little bit closer to normalcy.
Yeah, getting back. It's nice to hear people actually want to do media. It's good. It's good.
It's been a while, so I miss you guys.
Nice. Talk about, January. You were supposed to fight in January. Didn't get a chance to do so. Were you surprised it took as long as it did to get rebooked? Like, what happened between then?
I wasn't, because I had a couple injuries and I was banged up going into that fight anyways, and then I got COVID, so I needed some time to recover from that. So it actually worked out. It worked out pretty good, I think.
I was gonna say, so it was almost a blessing. Like, I mean, because you were gonna go in there hurt and just hope for the best, I guess.
Exactly. I was going in there for a paycheck, and obviously to win the fight. That's 100% the goal, and I still think I was gonna win the fight, but I had some injuries, and that COVID really fucked me up.
How did the COVID impact you? I mean, because it's like different for everybody, right? We're all still trying to figure out.
It's weird how it is different for everybody. Because I have a friend that has one kidney, and he got it, and he had to be hospitalized, but because he was dehydrated, not because he was sick. He was out a day after, and he was fine. I'm like, dude, how did you get it for basically 2 days? I had it for 10 days full. First day was really bad, exhaustedly tired, and just felt like absolute crap. Then the rest of the days after that, I was just lethargic the entire time. It was just so frustrating. I was like, and at that point, I had to fight, and I was like, I'm literally starting this fight off with COVID. I'm like, this is so frustrating right now.
So what's been the focus since? I mean, obviously, healing up the injuries, just getting healthy, I guess, has probably been a big part of it. But what else has been the focus?
That's about it. But 2 weeks ago, I had my second daughter, second baby girl. Yep.
Congratulations.
That's been a little bit of an adjustment period, but my wife's been doing great.
So when the schedule for this fight came out, was there any talk about like, oh, maybe this isn't a good time?
There was. I tried to move it back a little bit further, but everything happens for a reason.
Nice. Now, obviously, the last fight out was a loss. Now you've had to dwell on it, right, for a year. So I just wonder, what's that like? Because I know everybody wants, like, after they lose, they want to get in there right away and get that out.
It's super frustrating, especially that one, because I know how everybody loved that fight. Everyone liked that fight, and I didn't like that fight, man. I lost. I feel like I did enough to win the first 2 rounds, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter what I think. I lost that fight, and I've been just sitting on it, dwelling on it, like you said, for the past 11 months. So I'm ready to go out there on Saturday night and reverse it and get that win.
Very nice. They give you the matchup, Edson Barboza, a guy that's been doing it at a high level for a long time. So what'd you think when that was the name?
Oh man, I got goosebumps. Got like my hair standing up. I was like, yes, this is one, man. Because after that, I mean, you come off a loss, you don't know what you're gonna get offered. You don't know what you're gonna get, but to get a name like Edson Barboza right off of a loss, dude. I feel like this is the biggest fight of my career, honestly.
Yeah. Where do you evaluate him, right? Because he had some setbacks, but he's still obviously incredibly dangerous, right? He's a guy that I guess you're going to get hurt a little bit when you go in there.
And I embrace it. I'm not scared of it at all. He's one of those guys that I know I'm going to be seeing his highlight reel. I mean, I've been seeing his highlight reel since I was in high school, but for the next couple of days, since when Edson's fighting, they like to put that spinning hook kick of Terry Edom during fight week, so I know I'm going to be seeing that. But it's similar to when I fought Emmett. They just kept replaying Emmett knockouts, and I'm just like, all right, that's good, that's okay. But it's good because it keeps that little bit of fear, that little bit of those nerves, and you need those.
I was going to say, you said you embrace it. Like on paper, when they announced this fight, I think everybody's like, oh, this is going to be an absolute war. I mean, is that what you feel like as well? Or do you feel like I can go in there and dominate this guy?
Yeah, that's exactly what I feel like, the second part. But it's one of those fights that you run it 100 times, it's going to be exciting every single time. There's just no possible way that this fight could be boring.
Last thing for me, I guess, obviously the goal here is to win, but what else? I mean, do you feel like, because I feel like you had like all this momentum behind you, right? Do you feel like you need to go out there and do something special to kind of regain that back?
Yeah, I got to go out there and not just win. Every time I win, I feel like I've had some good wins in the UFC, but I need that statement-making win, and to do that over someone like Edson Barboza, who is a legend in the sport. He's definitely going to be a Hall of Famer. This is the one. This is the one for me.
Shane, right here. You obviously matched up with Hakeem Dawodu before this. He's on a long win streak. He's racking up a lot of impressive wins. Do you prefer fights against Edson, the legend, or do you want those fights against the guys that are just on these long win streaks?
No disrespect to Hakeem, but everybody knows who Edson Barboza is, man. Like, it's one of those fights that this is going to propel me. Even though I'm ranked 9 and he's 13, I feel like this is one of those fights that's going to even push me even further. So how could I turn down a fight against Edson Barboza?
And then obviously in the last, few months, the rise of leg kicks has kind of been the talk of the MMA world, especially after the Conor fight, where we saw the Weidman Hall fight.
Yep.
So how do you train for someone like Edson, who, like he himself said, like I've been doing this since my first UFC fight, and you obviously said it. So how do you train leg kicks? I'm sure it's difficult.
I come from a kickboxing, primarily kickboxing based gym already, so it's something that we've been doing for years already. Everybody on my gym can kick. Everybody in my gym is primarily a kicker too, so it works out for me.
And then since your last fight, a lot's been going on in the division. You know, you had the title fight, Max came back, the rise of Giga Chikadze, the Ortega zombie fight. So what do you make of this state of the division right now since your last fight?
It's been fun, man. I was bummed that the Ortega and Volkanovski fight got canceled, because that puts a little bit of a logjam at the end, because then you got Holloway, who's still waiting there because he's probably going to get a title shot next. So that's been a little bit of frustrating, but I haven't been able to fight, so it hasn't affected me too much. But moving forward, it might after this one.
Over here, Shay. What's your mindset coming in with this being the longest layoff of your career? You used to be an active fighter. You had COVID, and then all this is kind of like jitters, since it's kind of something fresh you've never done in your career.
No, it feels like I'm just picking back up where I left off. I don't believe in ring rust, because I train my ass off. Like Dominic Cruz always says too, ring rust isn't real. Ring rust is what you make it. I'm in camp 24/7, 365, unless I have some kind of crazy injury, because this is my lifestyle. I live this, and this is what I do to provide for my family. So I take this super serious. I live this life.
Since you're a purist of the sport, do you watch all combat sports? Like, did you watch the Canelo fight last week?
Yeah, I did. Yes.
How much is seeing somebody like that at that level inspire you, just as a straight combatant and as a fan of just combat sports in general?
Huge fan of Canelo Alvarez. He's probably, I think pound for pound, he's the best fighter right now in the world, and the skill he has, man, it's beautiful to watch.
And you're a big level fighter. Do you take anything when you see somebody like that on that big stage from the mental game, like he doesn't flinch and stuff like that, or just seeing the people at 261? I know you wasn't there, but does that atmosphere get you ready to hear all the craziness you're gonna hear on Saturday?
Yeah, I was excited to see the weigh-in show for 261, just see the crowd, and then see if you watch the first fight of that 261 card, it was packed and the fans were going wild, and that was just giving me fucking goosebumps, man. I couldn't wait to feel that myself. I can't wait to make the walk. I can't wait for the weigh-in show, which I didn't think I would be so excited for, but I'm actually hyped just for the weigh-in show to get that little bit of a teaser, just to feel that atmosphere again.
And is Saturday only about getting your hand raised, or do you have to put on a show because people are pegging y'all? If we were doing odds in Vegas, y'all are odds to win the fight of the night.
No fight of the night. This is gonna be my first performance of the night.
Also, so that's kind of, you got that swag. Is that insinuating that you think you're going to finish him?
Yes.
Hey Shane, New Yorker to New Yorker. Home's been hit hard. Gyms have been closed since, they've only been open since August. So what's it going to mean for you to finally have the chance to step onto the mat and compete in front of a packed house, crowds of thousands?
Like I said, man, I'm excited to just feel that energy, just feel the crowd. And I got a lot of friends and a lot of family that follow me for all these fights. So as soon as they found out that this one's going to be open to the public, I got a lot of people coming. So to hear them and to see them in the crowd, it's gonna be crazy.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.